Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be another IEM. This is IO's new Sogno, which is another IEM in their lineup now from their predecessor, the Volare. Just a really nice IEM for musicality purposes. It's kind of Harman-esque, and with certain ear tips, I find the bass to kind of come up a little bit more and the upper end to kind of be tuned down a little bit. But I would say that with most of the default ear tips that come in the box, it is a little bit brighter in its tonality. I would say, though, just a really nice set in terms of the level of punchy bass that you get, and a bass that really has good dimension and technicality to it, and fast in attack and decay. I would say, though, that the mids are a little bit forward, vocals shine through the mix, and just in general, the soundstage, not overly large for music, but one that doesn't feel on top of you either. So it got some good technicalities and really nice resolution for music. Now, when we start talking about, and of course I focus on how things transition over to competitive gaming, but I want to start and just show you guys the unboxing experience, because IO really just does, and I just kind of destroyed the box there, but IO does a really nice job with their unboxing experience. The Volare was just absolutely beautiful. And you can see this set comes with 5 different full sets of ear tips. And all of the ear tips are vastly different. And because the IEM does have kind of like a modified fish mouth nozzle, it does have a really drastic effect on the audio, particularly in game. But you've got foam ear tips, you've got a nice set of 4 sets of silicone ear tips, all with different bore sizes and different lengths and things like that. Just a lot to kind of fiddle around with the sound. Now, I found that for Valorant, the set that worked for me quite well was the TW40. The entire package is just really, really nice. You can see the cable here, which does have it appears to have a different braid to it than the Volare, but it does have a interchangeable termination here at the bottom. Right now I've got a 3.5 with my 635 connector, and you do have the carrying case here as well, which you can take the foam out and kind of store cables and different IEMs, etc. And you do get a carrying pouch here as well, where I have my other termination. Now, just a really nice unboxing experience in general, especially for what you're getting for 400. I mean, there are other sets that go up to 500, and you just don't get nearly as much in the box. But I would say that in terms of its ergonomics, the IEM does kind of irritate my ear after, I would say, like 4 hours of playing. And I think it's just the way that it is kind of shaped here with this kind of protruded butt towards the bottom of the IEM. But overall, like, I don't really have any complaints about the ergonomics here. It fits snug in my ear. It's not a heavy IEM by any means. But at 400, you are getting an all resin shell with a just really beautiful design and a beautiful look to it. Now, I do have 2 ear tips here to the side, and the reason I did that is because really the sound is just so vastly different with different ear tips, and I couldn't get one set of ear tip to work very well for me in each title. Now, the set here that I have is the Aslicent Earfit Origin, and this set actually kind of worked the best for me for Call of Duty and Apex Legends, and this is a third-party ear tip. So again, you can really get this IEM, and you might be able to get past that B level where I'm going to place these on my wallhack certified tier list. You might be able to take these even higher depending on the ear tip that you mix with it. But I found that the Aslicent Earfit Origin did the best job in Apex because it tunes down that 2 to 4K region, where a lot of the gunfire just became too elevated with a lot of the other ear tips. The TW40, for instance, the gunshots were just kind of overwhelming. The gunfire, from my perspective, was just very loud, and it would overshadow other things that were happening simultaneously. And I think that if you're somebody who kind of like has that sensation of not enjoying in Apex Legends in particular, when guns are really powerful, this is definitely something that kind of brings that range out a little bit too much. Now, moving to the origin, I was able to resolve that to like 95% of an extent. And it just tuned it down enough for me to be able to have good separation and be able to hear the shuffles and people climbing and different things like grenades rolling, people shield selling. It was able to pull those things out to a greater extent for me to hear everything going on around me. The only thing, though, with the different ear tips is sometimes the imaging just didn't feel quite as holographic. Sometimes the depth perception fell off a little bit, like the depth read just wasn't as precise. But I would say overall, with the different ear tips, I was able to get really nice depth perception. I was able to get good enough verticality and good imaging. And good separation and layering, again, with the origins. And guys, I have not really touched Apex ranked this season, but I do want to show you guys a ranked game on Olympus in real time to give you guys my real-time impressions. The ear tip that I'm on right now, the gunfire is exceptionally loud. That 2 to 4K region, it comes off quite abrasive in game with a lot of guns in Apex, the alternator, the 301. And one of the things I notice is it does have an impact on separation and the read that you're getting in game. It becomes quite difficult to focus on other things that are happening around you. So I'm going to swap ear tips to what I am used to using in Apex while testing this IEM. I have a pair of Aslas and earfits I'm going to swap to now. Remember here not having a super accurate sense of depth. Already the audio on gunfire, much better. Depth perception read in Apex, quite a bit better as well than the previous ear tip. I can hear everything a lot better while I'm shooting. And things under you and things going over your head could be a little bit cleaner. Sound like everything that is going on to a pretty good extent. Like everything at a distance, all the gunfire going on. There's really no issues during that fight. If there was another team in the mix, like I feel like separation would still be a little bit iffy with the gunfire being quite a little bit elevated still. But these ear tips definitely like settle it down to a really nice extent. Like I would still be easily able to give the Sogno with what I'm hearing right now at B. And with the same ear tips, I was able to transition to Call of Duty, and everything worked out quite well. The imaging is there. The depth perception is fairly good. You get that nice sense of the thocky footsteps that are above you or below you. And even like that sense of verticality was quite good. Again, it's just like right there on the cusp of wanting to transition into that B+ range with the right ear tip. It just doesn't quite get there. The micro detail could be a little bit better. The depth perception, the read in a 360-degree radius could be a little bit better. In other words, I get that sense of imaging in an accurate location. It's really just like that depth of specifically how far behind me, how far in front of me, how far over my head, how far under me. And even still, even like the horizontal imaging could just be a little bit cleaner. You saw some of that under rotation, that over rotation, and even moving to Valorant, once you swap to the TW40s, again, I found them quite good in Valorant. Like the imaging read is really good. The experience is good. I could perform at a very high level with those. I think they fall squarely around a B. It's just like right there on the cusp of wanting to be a little bit higher at a B+, but that depth read could just be a little bit better. Again, both the things in front of me and behind me, and right as somebody's about to come out from like behind a wall, it's good. A B is a very strong score. It just wants to be a little bit better at a B+. It just, I don't think quite gets there because of like these small little gaps I'm noticing in those areas. Separation is great. The base is really well controlled in Apex, COD, and Valorant. The one thing I noticed in Call of Duty is like the planes flying overhead with like precision airstrikes and stuff like that. Some of those things can come across like very elevated and extended, kind of abrasive. Other than that, like Thocky footsteps above me, below me, the depth, the imaging, everything quite good. And even the separation was fairly good as well, even when I was shooting. Again, I used the same ear tips in Apex and COD, the Asla Senate ear fit. So overall, the Sogno gets a really good score at a B. I think that it is a good position on the wallhack certified tier list. And if anybody's interested in them for music, I do think that you can get a nice competitive experience crossover if you're looking to also game with these. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope it helped. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel. See you guys in the next review. Peace.